Good morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 6th of November, 2025. It's just before 6 a.m. here out in the west, in southwestern Nevada. Hard scrabble country. A lot of people with sharp elbows, pistol packing, rootin' tootin'. You can always tell somebody from Pahrump. You just can't tell them much. These are people who made it on their own. They got to here, and they are on tight budgets. I think a tremendous percentage of the county, or at least Pahrump, are people that are on food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, unemployment, Social Security. In other words, it's very different than, say, Beverly Hills retirement community where people have money. They made their money. They've got savings. They've got their fortune, etc. These are people greatly affected by the government shutdown. Yikes. Okay, but here we are, and our goal is to help our students on their journey through this life, on the belief that we have a transcendent soul. How do we cooperate with the gifts that we've been given? We honor them. So we've been given gifts from God. You know, you could say we have the gift of life, but if you look at that, it's actually 3 gifts in one. Physical, we have a body unlike any body on any other creature on earth. We have a brain that's unlike the brain of any creature on earth. And we have emotions that are unlike the emotions of any creature on earth. Far beyond any other animal. So to say it's just evolution probably is not right. However, it is true, not the word just. So we're here to help our students and other interested people on their way through our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success. This is week 1, day 4 of week 1. Day 4 of week 1, or week 1, day 4. This is our overview and orientation. Why are we here? What are we going to do for the next 4 weeks? And quite simply, what we're going to do is be able to answer 2 questions from a neuroscience perspective, not from a psychological, sociological, religious, spiritual, ontological, no, just from a neuroscience orientation. 2 questions. Who am I from a neuroscience perspective, and why do I behave the way I do from a neuroscience perspective? That's why we're here. Good morning, Watanabevi. Good morning to you. Do you still feel blessed, or are you on blast? Blessed or blast? You should be reaching out to Lucy, reminding her not much longer until the life of the past will forever be different from the life of the future. Meaning, once you have a kid, it's different. It's a different category of thing. So she's taking that leap forward. Congratulations to Lucha Libre. Not much longer to go, and then she'll be a mutter. She'll be a member of the udder sex. Okay, so week 1, day 4. Our theme of today, our themo of today is, wait for it, why humans control the planet. And why should we care? Why humans control the planet. Let's see what's going on here. Beep, bop. Okay. This whole universe out there in front of me at the fingertips. Magic fingers. Okay. Our theme of today, why humans control the planet and why should we care? Yuval Harari, another guy kind of like Johann Hari from yesterday, where the experts say he probably nailed it. So this is a 10-year-old TED Talk from Yuval Harari, 10 years old, and what he said will happen 10 years ago has and is happening. The good news, bad news is that it's taking 10 years. The thing about that is in the olden days, back in the olden days, it might have taken 100 years for the changes, the amount of change he talked about to occur in 10 years. Okay, so before we get to that, let's look at our worksheet for today's lessons. And we have advice from an 80-year-old. Keep secrets. Why should we keep a secret? That's different than being secretive. Keep secrets means if somebody has shared a secret with you, keep it. Does not mean be secretive. Very different. It's the difference between chalk and corn chowder. Okay, keep secrets. All right, what else we got here? Seth Godin, delegate everything. It's kind of a long one, but each task brings 3 options. But first, let's be clear what we mean by delegate. If we can hire someone to do a task so well that my customer can't tell, I can choose to delegate this work. The Uber driver is probably capable of changing the oil in the car, but if the passenger can't tell, doing it herself is a choice, not a requirement. Same goes for the restaurant that buys pre-minced garlic, or the executive who has her team do much of the work, right? So if you can't tell, delegate it. If it can be delegated, doing so is a choice and an opportunity. So the 3 options. So again, for delegate, he's saying if the customer, if other people can't tell that it wasn't you, delegate it. Choice, the first option, delegate everything. Find people or AI systems to do every delegatable task, reserving for yourself only the work that can be delegated. Okay. 2, delegate some things. Hire yourself to do some of the delegatable tasks. Perhaps it's to build up insight or skill or reputation that will help you serve people in the future. Or perhaps you're hiring yourself as a way to hide other more difficult tasks or because it's fun. And it might be because you don't want to support some of the encroaching systems that offer outsourcing. Our work and our dollars are also a vote about the future we're building. Third, delegate no things. Do the work with your own 2 hands because the craft and the doing it are giving you joy and satisfaction. It's a choice now more than ever. It's a choice because to freelancers and AI, it's a choice. Now more than ever, it's a choice because access to freelancers and IA lowers the cost and increases the quality of the work we delegate. The opportunity is to use leverage delegation to create opportunities that cannot possibly be delegated, to make our craft more particular, more human, and more distinctive. The alternative is the race to the bottom. That's no fun. Okay, that's very profound. Unfortunately, time is racing. Don't have time to really dive down into that. But very profound. I suggest everybody goes and watches and thinks about that one. I'll think about it on my way to Vegas today. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. No, let's talk about something really important. Why humans control the planet. Now, the simplest answer for non-denominational Christians and other Christians is because God gave us the earth and dominion over all things. That's the simplest answer. But if you think about it, and you go back about 70,000 years, humans did not control the planet. Humans were no different than jellyfish or other things, just one species amongst millions, or however many. Now, if you are the type of Christian who believes the Bible is the inerrant word of God, then you believe the earth didn't exist 70,000 years ago. That's a problem. That's a problem that more and more will put people out on the lunatic fringe because it's just not supported by science. It's like 500 years ago, the belief was still that the sun revolved around the earth, say about 500 years ago. However, at a certain point in time, it came to be, nope, yeah, it really doesn't. And then cosmology, et cetera, so it's really hard to cling to a literal interpretation of the Bible, but some people do. So let's just put those people over here and say that, yeah, Homo sapiens sapiens have been around for about 250,000 years. There have been other hominoid species, other sapiens, other homos, going back maybe almost 7 million years. Let's say that's true. And it's true that today we control the planet, but we didn't always control the planet. What caused the change? That's what Yuval Harari is talking about. And then why is it important? We drill down to say, why is it important for me to know this? How can I apply this to me, to what we'll learn about in my skull-sized kingdom? So Yuval Harari is a very sharp, bright, intellectual Israeli, and the X who's broad and deep, not just deep and narrow, broad and deep. The experts who consider his stuff, the ones that go narrow, say, yeah, probably nailed it, probably got it right. He built off of my work. I feel good because my work is included in it, and I wasn't really trying to do what he was doing. He's really solving the big question, answering the big question. So Yuval Harari looks at the scene standing on the shoulders of other giants that came before him, and says, you know what? Here's the thing that's unique about humans. Only humans on this earth, of all of the species of animals on this earth, only humans can work flexibly in large numbers. No other animal can do that. So this is a David Foster Wallace. This is water kind of thing. It's so much around us that we don't notice. But only humans can work flexibly in large numbers. For example, if you put a human and a chimpanzee on a deserted island, the chimpanzee will probably do better. You put 5 humans and 5 chimpanzees, maybe the humans will do better. 100 chimpanzees and 100 humans, the humans crush them, probably literally 2. Why? Well, chimpanzees can work flexibly, but not in large numbers. They have to know the other chimpanzee. So Yuval Harari says chimpanzees will trade with other chimpanzees, correct, but only if they know the other chimpanzee. Are you a good chimpanzee? Are you an evil chimpanzee? So they cooperate with those who cooperate with them, and they don't with those who don't. And so they don't really have the ability, like humans, to cooperate with strangers. For example, it says you can take this green piece of paper, walk into a store, go up to a stranger, and buy bananas. Can't do that with any other life form. Can't do it with chimpanzees because they don't have, for several reasons, which are not important. But humans are the only animals that can work flexibly in large numbers. He points out there are some that can work in large numbers, bees, ants, termites, things like that, but they cannot work flexibly. They can work in large numbers, but not flexibly. A beehive can't change the way it's run. An ant colony cannot either, but humans can. So then he said, why that humans can do that? With is because only humans can create stories. And if we believe the story, we'll do it. My hunch is when Yuval Harari was going down this path, it was the story was something that was true. Or if we collectively observe something that's true, we will collectively cooperate in that. Don't eat this food. Don't eat from that bush. If we all collectively agree that that bush is dangerous to eat from, we won't eat from it, we won't get sick. We don't have to try it, get sick, and then say, oh yeah, I can't eat from that one. Like M. And then I think you went to the next level and said, well, does it have to be true? Could it be they believe something? Humans can believe a story that's not true. What if we believe a story that's not true, but can we cooperate flexibly? And the answer is yes. So we're able to cooperate flexibly in large numbers because we can invent stories. And if the stories are believable, other people will cooperate. What does this have to do with me creating a story about what? Okay. Then if you take it down another level, Yuval Harari says, what makes humans able to create stories and no other animal can is that humans can see the world from 2 different perspectives. One is objective reality, things are things, and the other one is subjective reality. That's a beautiful sunset. That's a dangerous, a scary forest type of thing. You never see 2 chimpanzees walk off hand in hand to go admire the sunset. They just don't do it. So humans can live in a dual reality, objective reality and fictional reality. So we can create fictional stories, and if we believe the fictional story and cooperate, we will progress. Things will happen. And he talks about different types of fictional stories. So one fictional story is human rights. So he says you can cut open a body and you'll see bones and cartilage and organs, but you won't see rights. Okay, so we're over time. Ugh. This was a good one. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. But let me just summarize by saying the reason it's important to us is we want to create fictional stories. They're not true yet. Like, I will be a great employee. That's a fictional story because it has not occurred, but it's perfectly okay if you're doing it in good faith. So when you're going in for a job interview, you want to create a fictional story that makes their life easier in exchange for making your life better. With that, we're going to say and cut. A lot of things to do today. Pastor's breakfast at the Lutheran Church. Blah, blah, this, that, the other thing. Back to Las Vegas. And cut.